Hello and welcome guys, it's Leon Street, and in this video I'm talking about how to generate 50 qualified business coaching leads in 7 days consistently, even if you have a small audience or email list. And I really want to touch on three key areas that can help you move to the next level in terms of attracting leads and feeling more confident, obviously, about growing your coaching business. Like, this is perfect for you if you're a business coach right now and you're floating in between the 5 to 20K per month range. So that's what you're generating, $5,000 to $20,000 pounds or euros. And what I'm going to do is just take you through some of the short steps that I've used with myself, my clients, in terms of generating leads. Because ultimately, if your business isn't generating leads, then your business is going to have a challenge with obviously growing and even remaining a business, because obviously no leads equals no clients, and there's only so far you can go with existing clients to the point where you need to go to that next level. So what I'm going to do is take you through the key steps in what you need to look at. Now, in terms of the agenda, I'm going to touch on three key areas, but what I want to show you first of all, I'm going to give you some proof. You can see here client results. So one of my clients generated 700 leads in 3 days. Norik did $5,500 in coaching sales in a weekend just off generating leads. Denise, she did 4,200 in a week. Janine generated 879 leads in 3 days. Angie did 24,000 in a week in sales off the back of the leads generated. Alston closed 292,000 in sales in 3 months from new leads. So I'm sharing these parts with you because what I'm going to go through, I don't want you to think this is theory or just something that I picked up on YouTube. This is stuff that we actually put into practice. And there's many more results that I've got, and here's actually more proof. So these are print screens from actual clients. 7K cash collected, 13,000 in sales. Another client, first £10,000 sale. Ashish, Dr. Ashish Paul, she got 700 leads in 3 days. My other client, Duane, got 50 leads. This was in a 48-hour period to one of his social media posts. Another client generating $15,000. Another client here, 75 leads in 24 hours. So what I'm sharing on screen, I hope you can see that I don't have to kind of push it anymore. This isn't theory, guys. So what I'm going to take you through is actual stuff that has worked. I've got a few things as well, got a few resources that can help you as I'm going along. So I will mention the resources, and they're free. There's no investment that you need to invest for the free resources. Like I said, so I've got a couple of things. However, I do want to just point you to this before we go into the full training. And I reckon it should be around 20 minutes, not going to be too long, but I'm going to take you through each step and what you need to be aware of. If you do want to take things to the next level and you want my support, you would like me to help you get the kind of results I just shared with you, we do have a More Leads challenge coming up. It takes place from the 31st of October until the 4th of November. Simply go to www.moreleads.live to get your ticket. And as I go through, you're going to see why I recommend this training, because the stuff that we have in this training, where we go to the next level, where you're actually one of our clients during the time of the challenge, you'll see exactly what it is that we have in store for you. So let's get into where I want to go with the training first of all, so you get an idea of why I'm talking about this. If you look at this statistic, this was a survey done for businesses around what was the most difficult thing or most important challenge in a small business, and the thing that came out on top was attracting customers. And as I said to you, if you can't attract leads, if you can't get new customers, like, your business is going to be very, very, very difficult, right? And for most of you, you're probably established coaches or consultants if you're watching this right now, and you've probably got your business to around about £10,000 or dollars a month, right? And the next thing, and what I know what happens at that stage, is you can get very comfortable and very consistent at that level, but then you've got to go to the next level. But what pushes you over that line? Perhaps you're maybe a bit below that, but what pushes you to the next level? Maybe you're doing about 20, but what pushes you to the next level where you actually solve this problem of attracting customers? So if we know that that is the main problem that coaches are facing, consultants are facing, let me take you into how I see, and then what we can do about that. So the thing is, with regards to generating leads, it's all about lead flow, and there's two key parts as your journey to getting a client that I want to touch on. Now, there are four in total. number one is traffic. So traffic is where you find your niche and you can get your message in front of them. And once you've got your message, you've got some kind of call to action or hand raising feature, meaning, does anybody want this thing that perhaps you got? Maybe you got a free guide, a free video, a webinar, something that you give away as value, but you proposition people with a lead generation offer and people are interested. That allows you to qualify, turn those people into prospects, and then you have a conversation. And then from there, from the conversation, you present your offer, and then people become a client. That is the natural flow. So that's what I want to focus on. However, this is what I'm talking about today, talking about traffic and talking about getting people to raise their hand, i.e. take up your call to action and turn them into leads. If you've got any questions as I'm going along, guys, do remember, I appreciate that you can add your questions as comments whilst I'm going through this. I will check out and reply to every comment. So if you've got any questions about what we're about to go into in terms of lead generation, drop your comment below this video and I'll answer it. If I've got a free resource, can get my words out, I will send you a link to a number of resources, because I think we have about 12 different resources that we give out that are all around generating leads, turning leads into prospects, and turning prospects into clients. So as we're going through, please ask your questions. So let's go into this. These are the resources that I'm talking about. So we have something called the Secret Client Magnet, how to create an irresistible no-brainer offer. We've also got Confirmed by Chat, how to speak to people in your DMs without being cold, sleazy, or pushy, and actually turn people into prospects. So those are some of the resources that we do have, and I will mention them before the end of today. So let's get into step one. Step one is marketing overwhelm. Now, if you're a coach, you've probably been bombarded by, your Russell Brunsons, Alex Hormozes. There's so many different influencers out there, and there's so many people that I've come across, your Grant Cardones and so on. However, you've probably got your business to a respectable size, as I mentioned. That doesn't mean that marketing overwhelm doesn't happen. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden you found the answer and now you can go from 5, 10, or 20,000 a month and just go and hit 100K a month. It doesn't work like that. So let me take you through what you need to be aware of with marketing overwhelm. So where do you go from overwhelm? Well, let me tell you. The thing that's probably on your mind is, how do you reignite the lead flow or get it started, right? And I come across this so often. It's like, how do I get this momentum? How do I push this, this giant snowball, and get it flowing and rolling down the mountain, right? Because once that happens, I'm sure all of you think, once I'm speaking to the right people, I can convert them into customers. And I hear that so often. Like, I speak to probably 10 coaches every week doing different strategy calls, as well as speaking to my own clients who are all coaches. And this is the thing. It's like, how do we get this thing going? How do we get the lead flow moving? And for me, this is where it starts. And you might be thinking, oh, really, your niche? Now I'm going to explain exactly what I mean so you can use this. And remember, this is step one. I've got 2 more steps I'm going to take you through. You see, the challenge is, when you're in marketing overwhelm, you're probably thinking about everything that you're coming across and the successes you're seeing from your competitors, the other people in your industries, people outside of your industries that are doing really well. But the key is, if you understand who your target audience is, i.e. your niche, then the key, and I'll come back to this, is you need to understand the problem that they have. So when they are in front of you, or you get your message or offer in front of them, they can see clearly that, this person knows exactly what I need. Now I'm going to take that a bit deeper. That's the very surface level view. What you've got to do is go deeper so that your niche see you as the undeniable solution to the problem that they have. But the thing is, most people don't know how to go there. So I'm going to give you a couple of quick things that you can use in order to understand that. So first of all, we understand the niche and what it is that we need to understand around it in order to create better messaging and get very clear on how we get in front of those people. So hopefully this is making sense so far. If it isn't, remember, just ask a question. So your niche, let's dive into what it is that you've got to understand. So remember, with your niche, it's solving the problem that they have using something that I call psychographic immersion. So to put it short, you need to understand your audience psychologically, meaning what are their frustrations, fears, wants, and aspirations. And if you imagine a sheet of paper in front of you right now, draw a line down the middle and a line across. and you will end up with a quadrant of frustrations, fears, wants, aspirations. And this particular technique I call a transformation bridge, because what you'll notice is on the left you have frustrations and fears, on the right you have wants and aspirations. So you've got actually left point A, right point B, right? Transformation bridge meaning they want to get from point A to point B. And the more that you understand, so you start noting down like the top 5, top 10 frustrations, fears, wants, and aspirations around your niche with regard to solving the one problem you help them to fix. This is where you start to uncover what's going on with them psychologically. And the deeper you dig into the frustrations, fears, wants, and aspirations, the more you understand the emotions that your audience have. And this is critical. And now I'm going to explain why. So this will include interests, activities, and opinions. So why is this critical? Before we go into step 2. When it comes to creating your offer, when it comes to creating your messaging, when it comes to improving things, you've got to know your niche. You can't create these things and just think, that's it, I've done my work. Now I can just focus on delivery, coaching and delivering the services that you offer. It's your job to make sure that you've got your finger on the pulse of your niche constantly. And I'd recommend you should be reviewing your niche, reviewing your messaging and offers based on the information that you understand about your niche every 90 days. This might mean that you actually reach out to customers and find out how are things going with regards to the problem. What are they seeing? What are they hearing? What are they experiencing? And this is where you start to wrap in empathy, because once you understand these things, this is how you can influence and adjust your offers and your messaging. So with that, let's move into step 2. So now that we understand, we got to be super clear on the niche and understand from a psychographic immersion point of view what's going on with them emotionally. So we get to this place of empathy. We need to move into step 2, which is slow lead flow. But now you're clear on your audience. Now, when you have a small audience or disengaged audience, this is a problem. See, the thing is, now that we understand about your niche, we still need an audience to get this message in front of. So this is the key part where you need to constantly build your audience. And one of the most effective ways to build your audience is with your message. So coupled with your message, it's a problem you must fix in your business. So you understand the fact that, right, we've identified our niche, we understand all about them, we've created a great offer or adjusted our offers. Now we're creating a message, but we've got to build an audience. And this is where places like Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram all come into play, because these are the main platforms right now where your audience are probably hanging out. So for instance, if you were going for a more business to business type of audience niche, they're probably going to be on LinkedIn, but there's a good chance they'll be on other platforms. But what you've got to do as part of identifying your niche is a bit of research, find out where they're hanging out, where are they consuming content. And one of the best ways to do that is, who are the competitors or other authorities in your industry that are serving your existing audience, but perhaps in a slightly different way. So perhaps they're either selling the same types of things as you, maybe coaching, consulting, or maybe they're serving them but selling different types of services, but you use them as a reference point, because if they're showing up there, they're getting views, they're getting engagement, there's a good chance that these people are also getting leads, prospects, and clients. So what's the next step with lead flow? Your job is to find out where they hang out, as I mentioned, and then from there, you can capitalize on that. Now, I use a method that I call the 6-week content rhythm. And the 6-week content rhythm is how you show up with your message on these different platforms. And it works across every platform, because all we're dealing with is human psychology, right? Persuasion. We're not changing humans and our understanding of how people perceive and are persuaded with messages. Yeah. So the key is to understand from a human psychological principle point of view, what have we got to put in front of people? Very simple. So my 6-week content rhythm is very simple. What you do from Monday to Friday is you start by creating a piece of content that helps a person to change beliefs. And a very simple way to understand what that means is, if you can show a person how to go from a frustration or fear to a want or aspiration, the gap in between the two, the story you tell, the message you share, is how you help them to see what's possible, which is what helps them to change a belief. On a Tuesday, you should publish something that is allowing your audience to know that you have a lead generation offer, like a free resource. This is your guides, your lead magnets, webinars, videos. And what you're doing there is testing your audience for the people who've been following you from Mondays in your content to see if the thing that you have is of value to them. And this is really important because sometimes you'll get it right, sometimes you won't get it right, and it will be wrong. Meaning that that particular thing that you're offering isn't a thing that your niche are interested in. And this is important because with marketing, it's a constant test, but the testing is what allows you to get better, more knowledgeable, and deeper understanding of what triggers your niche, your audience to say, hey, Leon, I'm interested in that thing, right? That's what we want. On a Wednesday, it's all about testimonials and social proof. So you should be producing and sharing content. If you think about this video, when I started off with testimonials to show you proof and evidence of what I'm going to share with you today actually gets results. On a Thursday, you can share a walkthrough video, something explaining a bit deeper about the topic and how you can help people to get over the problem, or they can help themselves so they understand what and why. And on a Friday, you can create reminder posts to show people or point them back to the video that you created, so they're still able to get the value. Now, if you think of the 6-week content rhythm, it's a very simple process because all you're doing is Monday to Friday. Yes, you can add more content to it. Yes, you can add posts on a Saturday and Sunday, but this gives you a foundation of constantly putting out messaging that helps your niche to change beliefs. That's the key thing. The more you understand how to change beliefs, the more you'll be able to persuade more people to actually raise their hands, take up your call to actions, and generate leads. So now that we understand that we've got this flow, here's a couple of examples of when my clients have used this. So you can see this particular client, 700 leads in 3 days. This was across Facebook and Instagram. And again, it's just understanding what kind of freebie or thing do you want to offer or can you offer. And I'm sure most of you coaches out there, you've created a guide, you created some type of lead magnet, but it's all in the messaging and how you position that offer, that lead generation offer, and that's key. So here's another client. She generated 879 leads in 3 days as well. The cool thing about this is you can see these leads went directly into her email database on ActiveCampaign, which is her CRM. So for me, it's not about just generating confetti. It's about actually getting people into your database where you have the control. So it gets them off the social media platforms as well. So what I'm sharing with you gets results. Step 3. So what's step 3? It's all about sales confidence. See, the thing is, the way I look at business is if you understand how to generate leads, you've got to understand what happens after that part. And for me, what I find is the third and final problem really is to solve is that if you aren't professional, sales can be uncomfortable. Yeah, especially coming across the wrong way in direct messages and on sales calls. But I also find that if you're low on sales confidence, it can affect the marketing message that you put out because you tend to feel a bit less confident about your service. And so for me, the more that you attract leads and the more you convert those leads into prospects and then convert those prospects into clients, i.e. the qualified prospects, the more confident you become, because now what's happening is you're testing your services, whether it's a coaching or consulting service. And from there, it allows you to be more confident and dive deeper into the empathy and perhaps the more risky or what you perceive as risky emotions that really are the hot buttons to getting people to pay attention to you and actually getting people who want your call to action. So relationship building and creating, know, like, and trust with leads from social media to direct messages is part of this process in building up sales confidence. Your offer, which is what I alluded to already, presenting the value with a promise that creates hot prospects is crucial to you selling and to generating the leads in the first place. I remember listening to one of the old classic Zig Ziglar audio books, and he's talking about selling. And I think it's from Secrets of Closing the Sale. And what I love about it is he shares this story where there's this guy who's selling this Tupperware. And, back in the day, that was a big thing, these plastic goods that you'd have in your kitchen that you could store your leftover food or whatever else, right? And the guy who's selling these things asks Zig, how do you sell so much, of these products per month? And what the guy revealed is that he hadn't even bought the products that he was selling, so he didn't have confidence in the product. So it affected his ability to A, generate leads and prospects, and B, actually close the sale, get a sale. And as we said at the beginning, the biggest problem that business owners are facing is attracting clients. And if we don't complete the process of sales, then what are we in business for, right? So anyway, step 4 in becoming more confident around your sales As qualifying, making sure you only work with the best. And number 4, so that was step 3. Number 4 is closing, taking payment, and starting your client relationship with trust and love. So these are the key principles that I've found with creating higher sales confidence. Now, the big one, and what I mentioned to you, is the offer. Now, this is a free template that I have when it comes to creating your offer. And I do have a resource, as I mentioned, which is called my NBI offer worksheet. So No Brainer Irresistible Offer Worksheet, which you can get free. If you'd like a copy of that worksheet and the walkthrough video, just comment NBI, November, Bravo, Igloo. So it's NBI. And it's very simple. You need the right audience, which is why it's important you keep building your audience, meaning you've got to put the message out there to attract people in with the right promise. The right promise comes from your offer. The right time is about being consistent and putting your stuff out there, guys. You can't show up one day and then next week. You can't show up 1 week and then next month. The key is consistency. If you like the sound of what I shared with you in step 2 around generating leads, my 6-week content rhythm, also just comment 6 weeks below this video and I'll make sure that you get a copy of my 6-week content rhythm worksheet. And there's a walkthrough to show you how you map out 6 weeks worth of content using 30 pieces of actual content, right? So it's very simple, guys. You need to know the basics of what you're selling, the benefits, and most people don't understand how to write a benefit. And there is a very simple way, and as I said, it's solved in my MBI offer worksheet. Objections, how you handle objections in your offer, in your messaging, and timeliness, why people should act now. So that's the template that you do need to be aware of. And as I said, you can get this stuff if you do want the NBI offer worksheet. You want the secret client magnet, which is my guide on showing you all about how to generate 5 leads a day, and my confirmed by chat script, which shows you how to speak to prospects in the right way. Just comment below. You can just put free resources as a comment and I'll know what you mean. Anyway, more proof. Here's Denise, as I said, one of my clients, £10,000, $14,000. That was in a week. Haroon, what did he do? 10K sales and another possible 10K, 20K potential. And this is using all these methods, guys. This is one of my other clients, $21,000 in 1 month. Again, this was the client who generated 700 leads, and she was able to do that, combine all the other things that I've shared with you, turn that into clients. If you want to know how to do all of this and you want to know how to piece this all together, step by step, then as I mentioned to you, I do run a challenge. My next challenge is coming up on the 31st of October until the 4th of November. It's a 5-day challenge. Basically, you can spend 1 or 2 hours a day with me and my wife, who we both run this together, Magdalena, and we can show you how to generate the kind of leads that we're talking about and more. So it's very simple. Just go to www.moreleads.live and you'll be able to get your ticket there. Now, the cool thing about this is, you know, we show you exactly how to do all these things, but you also get a bunch of other worksheets and resources. We've got the social personal branding worksheet, the hot lead source worksheet, the 5 free hand raising post templates, the MBI offer worksheet, which is an advanced version to the free one that you guys can get at the moment. I've got something called the confirmed by chat worksheet and the super qualified script worksheet. These are all the things that will take your coaching and consulting business to the kind of results that I shared with you throughout this training. Yeah, whether you want to generate 10,000 a month consistently or you want to take yourself all the way up to 100K. Remember, just go to www.moreleads.live and that's where you'll get all the information. Secure your ticket and jump on board. You will not be disappointed. So, like, here are some of the examples of client results that we get when people apply this. This was Dwayne, the one who generated 50 leads in 2 days, turned £28,000 in sales. Another client, we adjusted his niche, and then he turned that into £100,000 in 4 months. This was Raf. He did 116K in 2.5 months. So one of my other clients did $768,000 in 3 months and a week. Another client, £750,000 from one offer. And if you want to get it all, you want to get it all wrapped up, remember, join us on the challenge 31st of October to the 4th of November, www.moreleads.live. Type that into your browser, get your ticket, and I'd love to help you go to the next level. On that note, guys, if you've got any other questions, remember, drop them in, whether you're watching this live, whether you watch this on the replay. Any question you've got, I will come back to and answer those questions personally. Until the next time, I'll catch you again. Bye-bye.